Hello. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
How's it going? If you don't know me already, my name is Heather Thacker. I'm a developer advocate at Chef. I've been in tech for about 6 years, mostly as a software developer. And before that, I was a professional baker and pastry chef. So I learned to code while developing recipes. Today, we'll go through an analogy of DevOps and baking, looking at both in 4 stages, with DevOps divided into plan, build, deploy, and monitor, and baking as prep, mix, bake, and feedback. But before we get cooking, there are 2 important elements to consider. First one is that both DevOps and baking are built on a philosophy of culture. Both exist partially due to growing communities working together, like this one. DevOps is a sharing of responsibilities between development and operations, increasing efficiency through collaboration, and baking often relies on fermentation to create these tasty profiles over time thanks to colonies of yeast and bacteria. The second important element to consider for a viable business product is that we need automation for a healthy economies of scale. We mix by hand to learn the craft, and then we mix by machine to grow production. Whew. So let's look at the 2 stages, the 4 stages, starting with planning and prepping. So in tech, the answer to most questions begins with, it depends. What are you building? Who is it for? What resources do you have available? We need these questions answered in excruciating detail before we get started. We want to know if the scripts run, do they cover each and every step of the build and bake process? Do we have enough resources? Are we wasting any resources? Are we laminating the dough fast enough to make sure it works before the butter melts? Timing is everything. DevOps grew as a solution to the bottleneck created from passing tasks over the fence from development to operations and back again. And bakers are very aware of the passing of time. Everything has to align, like the seasonality of apples, a chilled, relaxed pie dough, the perfect golden image of a pie that has to be replicated a dozen times every single day. There's a lot of steps to consider in order to set ourselves up for success. And the more that we know about all these things during this stage, the better everything will go during the next stage. So assuming that we're ready for building and mixing, oh gosh, I don't even remember what I was going to say in this one. Y'all, I am so sweaty. Do I look sweaty? Yes, I got you guys to laugh. Win! Building and mixing, making sure everything is good to go, assets, scripts, everything. But in DevOps and baking, we plan for delays, errors, unknowns. We do our best to minimize variability and rely on our teammates for help. And with enough experience, we can handle any mishap. So at best, we have the highest confidence that the product is good to go at this stage. We've considered our dependencies, our resources are allocated, the taste tests are complete, everything is going as expected. So let's go ahead and deploy our applications and bake our bread. This part relies heavily on faith in our tooling. We want to make sure that our environments are good and green, ready to go, no red errors or flames from burning bread, although that makes for a really good story. We want to make sure everything is configured properly so that we're not opening the oven door during this step and disrupting the bake process. We want to make sure the environment variables are correct. We have all of our ingredients, the tests are passing, we have enough space on the servers or in the clouds. Yes, we want to make sure that we have accurate logs, monitors, so that we have a clear view into what's going on during this stage in case we need to intervene and prevent a bigger disaster from unfolding. Monitor and feedback. So at this stage, ideally we have full confidence in what we've cultivated, and everyone's ready to enjoy the satisfaction of our due diligence so that we can really capture the first impressions, understand the interpretations, engagement, and the experience of the users. And this is all important so that we can iterate better on the next steps. So this is great for growth and success and establishing systems and processes of craft. It invites creativity and success, and ideally we all win together, like me when I was, in my 20s. So in conclusion, DevOps is delicious. Sprinkle it onto your software development lifecycle. Thank you all for listening, and all those photos were from when I was a baker. Here are a few ways to connect, and take care.